How's everybody doing tonight? Got a little pre-recorded movie action for you tonight. This is on probably a Friday night. Going to be shipping out to West Virginia tomorrow morning. So what I'm doing is trying to get some videos lined up, get them out of the way. Going to go back to West Virginia, spend some time with my granddaughter and my mother for the next week. So can't really record while I'm there. So I'm going to go ahead and knock some videos out while I'm here. What we got here tonight is the Spyderco Delica 4. This is a knife I've probably had for 18 months. I bought this knife off I believe I got it from Cabela's offline. I think I had a gift card for Christmas, and then I had some rewards points built up. So I thought, hey, I was watching Nick Shabazz videos and thinking, maybe I should just get me one of those. You know, he taunts on them and says that they're great. So why not try one out? And I bought this thing, got it in the mail, opened it up, took it out of the box, opened it up, felt it, realized this lock, I don't know about this lock thing here. Can't open and close it with one hand. Not for me. So I put it back in the box, put it in the case, and it's lived its life there ever since. Not a fan of it. Me, myself, I really don't care for it, but it is what it is. A lot of people like this knife. It does have the, the FRN on the handle, fiberglass reinforced nylon. If we look, this is made out of VG10 steel. Got it right there, Spyderco VG10. Don't really know a lot about that steel, and this knife was manufactured in Seki City, Japan. States there. So first Japanese knife I've ever purchased. You know, good quality. It is sharp. You know, we'll test it out here in a little bit as well. I'm not a fan of this whole two-hand closing. You can't open it with one hand, but when it comes to closing it, that's a whole different story. And if we do look inside, it does have some liners in there. Not really how well don't know how well you can see that, but there are liners inside of that. You know, but you know, it's all covered on the back. You really can't see nothing down through that way. The width of it, the feel of it. A lot of people like this knife. I didn't care for it. If you were just using this for an office application where you're cutting a lot of paper, a lot of tape on a daily basis, yeah, that's great. You can use it. It probably works good for that. It's just not really what I care to use. What I care to use is something that you can open and close with one hand, and of course you guys know it's the Para 3. CPM S45VN, Golden, Colorado, USA, maker's mark, full liners on the inside, G10 scales. This is what I like. This was my favorite EDC. You can open and close this knife one-handed, no problem. Works great for that. Back to this right here. You know, I don't know. You know, watch Nick Shabazz. He always takes them, and you can take this knife and you can move your clip around right, left-handed, tip up, tip down. The one thing you do got to do with pretty much all Spydercos is, if you look at this one, I put an aftermarket anodized Lynch Northwest clip on it in this little homemade lanyard. That way I can just yank it out of my pocket. If say I'm wearing gloves or I'm in the river, I like to fish a lot, so I always have this knife in my pocket in the river, and I can just grab hold of that and yank it out as fast as possible. But if you look at the aftermarket clip, causes that to ride down real low. If we take that and compare it to this one, you know, if you look, you got them at the same starting point. A lot more of that Delica 4 is going to be sticking up out of your pocket, which I really don't care for that. I like it to ride deep. That's just what I prefer. You know, I just did not prefer this. You know, a lot of people like this, and that's, you know, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Move on and get something different. And that's, of course, I'd already had the Para 3, so it was my cup of tea. As a matter of fact, it's probably one of the last EDC style knives I bought because I liked it so much. But just right here, if you had a child starting out with EDC, or you're just going to do light EDC stuff, this would be good for it. You know, the only problem, I just don't like it because the lock. You know, if you could probably flick this shut, I'd probably carry it more often. And if it was made in America, I'd probably carry it more often, but you know, it just is what it is. And you know, you can compare this to other applications as well. You know, you got the Civivi Elementum. This is a great knife. Now this knife's actually made in China, but it's made out of D2 steel. Micarta handles, deep carry pocket clip. You can see right there, full metal liners that are exposed. You can see them. It's open. It's exposed. Liner lock style knife. Close it one-handed, no problem. Another knife about this size. It's going to be kind of a more expensive knife. Is the Benchmade Bugout. This application here is pretty expensive though. This is the Aircraft Aluminum BRK 530 or 535 BK something or 4, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but S30V steel. I believe this knife right here runs you about $240. So here's 4 pretty close options of EDC that you can get in the game with here, you know. And we'll also look at the weight of these. We'll look and see how much these knives weigh. And we'll start with the Delica 4. See how many ounces she weighs. 2.3. Let's go to the Benchmade Bugout. Full-size Bugout, 2.5 ounces. So these are pretty close. The Delica 4 and the Bugout are pretty close. Go to the Elementum, 2.7. That's a little bit heavier. And then we'll go to the Para 3, 3.4. So that's a full ounce heavier than your Delica 4. And I'm not afraid to carry a heavy knife on me. Matter of fact, heaviness just means quality to me. So that's no problem for me to carry that. If we look at these price ranged, we'll start with the Delica. Actually, the Elementum. It's going to be probably about $55 on Blade HQ. The Delica 4, I think I paid $88 for that. That's probably what the price is. Your Para 3 is going to be at $165, probably $170, somewhere in that area. And of course, you got to buy a clip for it, so that's going to be another $20. And then the Bugout here, it's going to be about $240 for this application. Now, any other Bugout full size, probably $160, $170, I'm sure. The mini Bugouts are even cheaper, probably $120, I'm guessing. But for me, you know, my 2 favorites are going to be these 2 right here. You know, the Bugout, I was just kind of upset when I got it because it wasn't sharp, and I sent it back, and they sent it to me, and it's still kind of subpar. It wasn't as sharp as what it needed to be, so. But yeah, these are my 2 favorites, but this video isn't about these 2. It's about the Delica 4. So, just hang on just a second. We're going to get some paper roll. Now, another thing we want to look at, the size of these. I never really did that yet, so I'm going to put the kind of the back here at the 5-inch mark, and it goes all the way to probably 12 1/8. So, you know, it's 7 1/8 inches long. Not bad at all. The cutting length on this, we'll start it at, and we'll do cutting length only. I like to do that. 8 to, what do we got? 10 1/8. So actually 2 5/8. So 2 5/8 inches long for cutting length. Now if you look, it is pretty comparable to the Para 3. Kind of going to be probably the same length, really. You know, if we look at these 2 knives, about the same length. It's just your Para 3 is going to be beefier. And if we look at the blade stock as well, you can tell, you know, just all around beefier knife. This is going to be slicier. This is going to be getting you through the paper, the tape, you know, small cloth, things like that. It's going to get you through there fast, especially if you just drop that edge. It's going to get you through there quick. It does have a small choil here. You can choke up a little bit. Put your thumb back here, kind of similar to the Para 2 and the Para 3. So you have that. I'm just not a fan of it. You know, if you want to torque on something, not really going to do it with this. You're going to need something kind of like this, or, you know, your Elementum, you know, with them beefy liners inside to go all the way back. You can really, and this is D2 tool steel, so you can really torque on it. Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, let's look at the edge of this. Let's look and see how she comes from the factory. If they send her out sharp or not. Let's start by just getting any schmutz or oil off there. Oh yeah, that's an A. That's an A all day. That's sharp. I haven't stropped this. I haven't touched this. I've not even used this knife. That's sharp. You gotta give them an A for that right there, you know. You take that and you compare it to, you know, my pair of 3. If you guys watch my videos, you'll see that I spent some time and really put a nice edge on this the other day. And this knife is a little bit sharper than the Delica 4, but you know, not a lot. You know, because I use this every day. But you know, the Delica 4, you got to give it to them. They send it out of the factory sharp. That's definitely sharp. So kudos on that. Kudos on the factory for sending it out like that, because Benchmade definitely has their flaws with stuff like that. That VG10, again, I don't know a lot about that steel. Kind of more of a sheep's foot out here on the end as well. So, you know, it's more of a box cutter, tape slicer type tip you got there. So yeah. Yeah, there she is in all of her glory. The Spyderco Delica 4. If it's for you, it's for you. It's not for me, but hey, you know, I'm not everybody. Hey, there she is in all of her glory. Like, subscribe, leave a hate comment, tell your friends to get over here and watch this channel. Give me some views. Come on now.